picture, curtain lights. This is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing apart. We know every card by heart. Overture, curtain lights. This is it, we'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
Hey, whoa, cut. Wow. That was a bit abrupt.
We were having such a good conversation.
Clearly.
An offline conversation, and now we got to clean it up.
It's been a couple of weeks, and somebody's rusty at the switch.
Yeah.
Hi there. John here, Tracy there. Welcome to REALTOWN.
I feel bad. I want to apologize to our listeners because we had said that we were going to do this, what we're thankful for.
The Thanksgiving Lollapalooza.
The Thanksgiving show. And then I was like, wait a second. Thanksgiving's the day, right
after.
Before.
Yeah.
Well, we were after. And I was cooking, and I had that day off, and I was I had a half day, I guess, on Wednesday.
Right.
And then Thursday I had off, Friday I had off. So I'm like, coming in.
Half day on what? Oh, that's right, we did not.
You did not. I did. I got a half day on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday off, which was very nice. And then Saturday, Sunday off. So it was, I had 4.5 days off.
Whoa, take it easy.
So I said, you know what? I'm kind of I was cooking stuff and making pies and shit.
Who'd you share the food with? Certainly wasn't
Friends.
me.
No, it wasn't. Special people in my life.
Wow.
You're special.
Wow.
But I assumed you were with your significant other. Excuse me.
Not on Thanksgiving.
Because you do have one of those.
Not on Thanksgiving, I wasn't.
Oh, you were?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you were. I made the assumption you would be. You would be
Wrong.
in PA.
Incorrect.
Because if I didn't.
False.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I made the assumption.
You didn't ask.
I guess I didn't, but when you with somebody, I assume you're with that person on the holidays. My bad.
It's all right.
Listen.
No,
I didn't mean
okay.
to do that. It was
at
not
least
on
there was
purpose.
football on the TV. It kept me company.
I know. Did you see everybody was getting fired? I was laughing because the Devils coach got fired.
Yes, he did.
And then the Mets coach we knew was going to get fired, but he's been fired, so we knew that was happening.
Right.
And then I thought the Cowboys was going to get fired, didn't. Even though he said
tick-tock.
Yeah, Jonesy.
That meter's running loud all of a sudden.
Jonesy said I'm going to keep Garrett. Well, Garrett's contract's done at the end of the season. His contract's
was that
done.
a fact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it made sense. At first, I was like, just get rid of him. He sucks. But then I was thinking, you know what? His contract's done. They just won't renew it. They'll run it out, and then they won't. Yeah.
See, the Carolina Panthers got rid of their head coach,
I saw that.
Rivera.
I saw that.
Who had been there for, 9 seasons?
Yep.
Dave Gettleman hired him when he was GM down there, and Dave Gettleman is now general manager of the New York Football Giants. Who knows?
Right,
Maybe
Giants
Mr.
guy.
Rivera will be coming up to the Meadowlands.
Yep.
Maybe.
And what about that that coach who got fired from the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey, back to hockey?
Or the Leafs.
And I don't know where he's going, but I heard he's
going fishing.
Wants a lot of money. And there's not a lot of money.
Field of one.
Yeah,
I want a lot of money too. Gene, can you help me with that again, please? Get a hold of what's his name? Yeah, get a hold of Greg. Damn it.
Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, I have a friend of mine who's looking for somebody to do some phone sales for them, but it's pure commission. I don't know. I don't know who it is. I don't know who. This was the one I was gonna take, and I ended up not taking it. But he's asking me if I know anybody. I don't know. It's probably more for a college kid or someone who just doesn't care about soliciting, and wants to make a few bucks.
Right.
But if anyone knows anybody.
Well, if you're looking for a gig, phone sales, commission based.
And then your thing too, with the show, you're doing something with the show, right?
Well, yeah. There's a. I got to tell you, there is a very, very great, very real opportunity floating around. I just mentioned. Hey, Gene, see about that. Not for anything, but there's a mechanism whereby one of our should we say associates, our pals from out on the West Coast. He's from Washington. Greg Rance is his name. Hell of a guy. He's very upbeat. He's very positive. He's very can-do, and he's got a thing to whereby it's a mechanism to where you put money in and you get a 7-time return. And I'm not talking chump change. It's not for everybody. It's a few bucks, but you know what? If you're looking for north of 10 grand in a few weeks, maybe a month or two turnaround, be a part of our team, be a part of the team, be a part of Team John Thielon. Look me up on Facebook, John THEILLON.
Well, you have 2 Facebook pages now. It's very confusing.
Well, the one I put together back in September, and the intent of that is to key on when I get to my train fund junction business, when I literally put the rubber to the road or the wheels to the track, or a little of both. But my main page, John Thielon, and my last name is spelled THEILLON. Look me up and say, hey, tell me more, and I'll know what you mean. I'll get you a video. I'll get you maybe some quick info. And now here's the thing. I'm seeing it work with people who have jumped into this. I mean, without giving up too much, because I'm not the detail guy, and I don't want to paint an incorrect picture. The video does wonders, and Greg, I'll put you in touch with Greg, and he's got the thing up and down. He knows the deal. He's the where it starts and ends. But you know what? I'm seeing people. I jumped in about mid to late October, and I'm seeing people who jumped in right before me and right around me. All of a sudden, man, this thing's bearing fruit. It really is. So, these people are experiencing some good, nice, happy returns. Hey, we're all looking for
money.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, a leg up on getting things done, getting things paid off, paid up, and so forth. And this just might be for you. It's not for everybody. I'll tell you that right now. If you like it, you like it. Get in. Let's go. If it's not for you, it's cool. I get it. But hit me up on John Thielon. They're on Facebook, THEILLON, and say again. Tell me more.
Don't hit me up on Facebook.
Yeah. Wow.
You can hit me up on the REALTOwn Facebook page.
Well, that too.
That you can do
either place, but I mean, you can go on my page. I
have I have a little opportunity for someone if they're, like I said, if they don't care.
And that's tell you what. We both come from that background recently. I'm still in it. You're kind of you're doing it in a different industry. I have all kinds of things that I do with industrial equipment and supplies, maintenance, repair, operations, and whatever the heck else. We're on the phone talking to people, and I have to tell you, after darn near 30 years of being out and about, and you've done this too. We're like twin kids from different moms, being out
brothers from another mother.
Word and brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters and brothers from another mother.
But after going out and seeing the man, small m, non-sexist, but seeing the man and speaking their language face to face and getting them happily involved with marketing and advertising, we see them person to person. This is a little different. It took some getting used to, but I got to tell you, these last 4.5 years. All the warts and all, I've made a pretty nice existence for myself. I mean, I'm not, Rockefeller or anything by that standpoint, or Warren Buffett. But you know what? Like Chico Escuela said years ago on Saturday Night Live about baseball been very, very good to me. This job, this has been very, very financially decent to me. So. And if you got something, if you got the chops or nobody who can do that, get a hold of Tracy. That might sound like a good deal.
Because you have to, sales is especially cold calling. You got to have a certain thick skin for that. Yeah, Britney Spears is 38 years old.
She's what?
So weird.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? It's so weird to me because I can't even picture him as almost 40.
Hang on. I got to pry. Okay, hit me, baby, one more time. What is that again?
Yeah.
Thank you.
38.
Wow.
38.
Wow.
Like that shows me how old. Because to me, she's still like, 16, 18, maybe 20, but
on
30.
Hot 93.3, here's 38. The new one from Britney Spears. Turn it up.
2 years from 40.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she was that old. I mean, not that that's old, because I'm seeing on the same page.
That was her age.
Her age. I'm seeing on the same page how Jennifer Lopez says she's open to having more kids. She is 51, so I don't know what the f she's talking about, unless she's adopting.
What is she, Abraham and Sarah from the Bible? I mean, my God.
I was like, what? You're open to more babies. I mean, she doesn't look it, but I mean, inside she's still going to have 51-year-old ovaries. I mean, let's be honest.
Okay.
Thank
you.
On the outside, she may look 40. On the inside, she looks, like 51.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Yuck.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you're open to having more baby. What do you mean?
I'm just saying.
So weird.
Oof.
I don't get it. I don't get when people talk like that, especially,
Oh, screen's off.
What happened?
Now we're down to running at the beach.
So now what did you do Thanksgiving? That's my question.
Absolutely nothing.
Shut up. You really didn't?
No,
I didn't know that, John. I
I did not.
thought you'd go to PA.
Nope. Then I go out to the weekend. Nope.
But you were off Thursday, Friday.
Of course.
Is it because your dad?
Well, he and I. I mean, I got.
Didn't you go out together like to a restaurant or something? You did.
We
that,
did
right?
not.
I thought you were gonna.
I was thinking we were gonna, and a couple of weeks ago, I got. No, I don't. I'm not. I don't know if I'm up to that. And you know what? I don't think he is.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Yeah. No, it's understandable.
He and not because of physical. I mean, physical. Okay. Again, 90 is 90 is 90, and
Like
it's
mental.
Emotional.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Holiday. He really was. He was Mr. Thanksgiving. He was Mr. Christmas. Before, during, and even a little after. He was Mr. New Year's.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
Dun-dun, dun-dun. I'm Mr. Something.
Something. Yeah,
I'm Mr. 30 below.
101.
Friend call me cold miser. Anyway,
Whatever.
He used to be all that and more. He really, really did. And these last 5 years without his best girl, it's just nope. He's got none of it. And it's funny because, and I don't mean in a hilarious way and like in an odd way. Until I said something on Thanksgiving, kind of shot back a little bit because he mentioned something about it, and he got a little pointed with me, and I basically said, "Dad, do you think that you're the only one not liking the fact that chair that shouldn't be empty over there is empty? Do you think I like the fact that I am looking at my hero, my Superman, and watching him wither on the vine because, we're into the 91st year?" I said, "I don't like it either. And you seem to think that I'm just real cavalier about this all, and it's easy." Nope, it is not. And all of a sudden, there was a little bit of an attitude change, where I was concerned, because I'll be honest with you. I mean, again, real town, I'm being real. And people, sometimes through the holiday times, they have a difficult go of it because people aren't there anymore. I mean, there's a lot of people.
Holidays are hard for a lot of people. I think
it is.
the suicide rate is higher at Christmas time than any other time of the year.
Of course it is. Yeah. And I totally understand that. I'm an introvert as much as I'm an extrovert, sometimes more. That vacillates, but I'm an introvert, and I can be an empath. I can be a real prick if I feel like it, too, depending upon what you throw at me. But all things being equal, I'm as much an introvert as I am an extrovert, and I am empathetic a lot of times. And I tell you what, if I really, really wanted to key on it, from about the 15th, 20th of November till about the 5th of January, I could just lock myself in a dark room with a TV and someplace to use the restroom and be done with the world.
I actually like being alone. I do enjoy being alone. A lot of people don't. And especially,
I have no big problem with it either.
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. I mean, it's one of those things, and I've been like that for I think because I've been alone for a majority of my life.
Understood.
I think I take solace in like just doing my own thing, watching my own shows, reading my own books, whatever I want to do. I coming and going as I please. I like that.
Yeah.
And after living with people and being in relationships, and then being held accountable as to where my my wherabouts were, I realized that I kind of like being alone. I really do. I mean, too. I really like living alone. I like doing what I want to do, and then when I want to see someone, then I see somebody. But
right.
It's like I just really, I don't know how some people are like, oh no, I can't be alone. I mean, I have friends who have never been out of a relationship.
Wow. No.
Never. I have a friend who has been in a relationship. I mean, one ended. She actually would start another one before the other one ended. From she's been in a relationship with someone from like 16 years old all the way to 49. And that's the truth. So, and many babies later and husbands later and whatever, but she has never had a break in between. And I've always said, like, don't you want to know what it's like to do something on your own? like make your own decisions and pay your own bills. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's something.
I was kind of like that when I was younger.
that.
I got to tell you, you know, in school, in high school, and college, and in my 20s and 30s, and even dribbling into my 40s, I got to be with somebody.
Right.
Why? Who says so? Then I go back because here again, twin kids from different parents. I'm an only child. You basically are too.
More or less, right.
Okay. I mean,
I have a sister, but we're not.
Right, but it wasn't.
Close.
It wasn't. You know.
Yeah,
like,
no, we didn't
wasn't a
really
Brady
grow
Bunch
up.
situation.
No.
Okay. I found out I also have siblings, but growing up, I was an only child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this whole finding the sibling thing has just happened within the last few months, and that's P.S. Back to Thanksgiving. I am thankful, Melanie, Caroline. I love you, and I'm glad that you're around. Telling you. But growing up an only child, I could. Probably like yourself much. I could pick and choose when I wanted to be with whom I wanted to be. If my friend Bobby was coming over and I didn't want to be with him, I'd have my mom say, I wasn't feeling well, I had homework I had to do. Or if I really wanted to chase him away, this would get him flying away from the door. Tell him I had to practice the piano. Oh, we'll be back later. I don't want to. Okay, little Johnny, little cream puff.
Yeah.
But I used to do that on purpose. I didn't want to be bothered. Just I want to go downstairs and watch the Flintstones, or I want to go downstairs and run the trains, or whatever I did. I get it. And
You've been watching a lot of the Christmas cartoons too. I noticed that. You've been flashing back. I love them. Yeah.
I watched Christmas Vacation last night.
Oh my God, I love that movie. I've seen it so many times, but it's still funny. It's still funny. It doesn't get old. It's just, oh my God.
What's he doing, Eddie? He's probably choking on a bone. Yep, there you go.
I like the old lady when she sings, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Grace!
House on fire? No, Aunt Bethany, it's the Christmas lights. Oh.
The squirrel in the tree is friggin' funny. I'm sorry. That's still funny.
Clark, that's the gift that gives 12 months a year.
And
Merry Christmas.
The neighbors
Hallelujah.
next door. Julia,
Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah. Julia Louis-Dreyfus next door.
They're
funny.
so pompous. Oh, my goodness.
I love it. When the lights go and he has the lights on and then they're like, and then they fall. Oh, my God. That movie's just funny. And honestly, I have to say this, like they've been showing like a lot of the vacations. And of course, I love the first one because it is the original.
The first one, yeah.
And I love the Christmas one. I really hated European Vacation.
Oh,
I hated it.
I took a girl on a date. It was summer of '85. I took Dawn Anderson. She worked in the office, and I was out in the maintenance crew at Raritan Center up in Edison. And I thought, okay, we're starting to get along. Let's go to the movies. We'll go to European Vacation. Sucked.
Oh, it's terrible.
Time. I think
bad.
I chuckled 3 times, maybe the whole movie. I'm like, that's it.
It's like just not good. It's just not a good movie.
I like Vegas Vacation. That's okay.
Vegas is better.
Mr.
Vegas
Papa
is
Giorgio.
better. Vegas is better.
That's
but
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the first one is like on the scale of 1 to 10 on the vacation movieometer. That's the 10. Christmas is like an 8.5, 9. European is like a 2 at most.
Yeah.
And Vegas Vacation, I'm going to say maybe a 6, 6.5, 7.
Right.
Good, but not like.
But Christmas is so good. It's just so. It's just so good. It's just such a good. It's such a good film, and it doesn't get old. It makes me laugh every time.
Funny.
And it's so funny. Like there's very few things that where I can see them over and over again, and I still laugh. At the same jokes. It doesn't happen often.
No.
Very few movies do that to me, but there's a couple. I mean, I was actually watching Wedding Crashers the other day. I still laugh at that.
That's a good
one. Couple moments where I still find it funny. And then, there's one, what's the one we both like? And we both laugh about. Oh, there's one I was thinking, not Ron Burgundy. There's another one. That's funny too, but.
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. That's what I was thinking of. Step Brothers. Still makes me laugh. I still think it's funny.
I saw you with my eyes put your nuts on my drum kit. No.
No.
Why are you so sweaty? I was watching Cops.
That movie is still funny. And I've seen it how many times. I still laugh at the same stuff. I still laugh. I still think it's hilarious how the brother did like a Vanilla Ice thing in the talent show, and then whenever he and I brought this up to somebody, they didn't even notice. But whenever he walks in the room, they play Ice Ice Baby in the background. But no, I have a friend. I said you have to listen. You can actually hear that every time he walks in the room. I was like, that's the little things about that movie that make that movie brilliant. Those little caveats are just. It's such a good movie.
There are people out there who are like, oh, that's just like stupid, dopey comedy. Let me tell you what. Just like like they say, and they've said this for 30 years first about The Simpsons. What a dopey, stupid cartoon. Or Family Guy. I can't stand that. It's just so stupid. Have you ever really truly
you have to watch it.
Listened?
Right.
The writing, Step Brothers,
So
Simpsons,
funny.
Family Guy.
Oh, so funny.
I got to be in the mood for some of them anymore. But you know what? The writing is Cheers. Going back to Cheers.
Oh, sure. If you want to go back, yeah.
MASH, just brilliant. You got it, and All in the Family. The writing.
Sure.
You have to listen to the dialogue. I mean, really listen, not just the rim shot stuff. The whole thing.
And nothing's better if you have a good cast.
Yep.
And good writing.
Yeah.
It's great, and it doesn't happen. But sometimes, like I gotta say, everyone loves The Big Bang Theory. I've tried. Don't get me wrong, because I give everything a chance.
I did too. I'm like, okay, I'm not there.
There are moments,
but I don't want moments. If I've got a 30-minute sitcom, that means there is 22 minutes of actual show.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you out of me. Okay, I'm quick, I'm witty, I'm fun, I'm funny. Okay, it's not bragging if you can back it up. Sorry, don't mean to sound pompous, but it's true. And so are you. You're quick, you're witty, you're fun, you're funny. Okay.
That's not fun. Not fun.
It's not fun. It's not funny.
You're gonna bring this back.
You're gonna take this all back to Howard. Yes, Billy Crystal. If in 22 minutes worth of show, you only get a out of me, it ain't that great.
Or one chuckle. One chuckle.
I've got to tell you.
Yep.
How come I can go on MeTV at 7 or 7:30?
MeTV, yes.
MeTV. Okay, and watch again MASH anywhere from 1972 to 1983, and literally, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 times out of 22 minutes, get a out of me.
An actual laugh, right?
Or WKRP in Cincinnati.
Well, I haven't watched that in a while. I haven't watched that in quite some time.
Even something like, and I have to, again, I got to be in the mood. It's not always, but even something like Hogan's Heroes. Okay, for when that was done.
I can't watch that anymore.
I watched a lot of it.
I used to.
Yeah.
But you know what stopped me?
Why?
Because of
Bob Crane's weirdness, yeah.
Dude, I watched a documentary about it.
Oh, I know.
And now I can't. I can't.
He was in a dark place.
Dude, he was like psychotic. Oh, yeah. And the way he died, the way he was murdered.
Back in 77,
yeah. And just the whole thing. Like, he was into like some really freaky stuff. Like
he was.
Heavy porn. And
he was.
He was.
Nothing wrong with a good zesty session, but he took it to a
whole new
other level of weirdness.
And I mean, they even did a movie about it. They did a full-length film about it with Sam Rockwell, who played him. And ever since I seen all these things, when I see a rerun of Hogan's Heroes, I literally can't stop thinking about him having sex.
Well,
I can't stop. Being murdered.
I have to literally put that out of my head. What I think of, I dismiss that as much as I can. It's there. It's there. I dismiss it as much as I can, and I think to myself, okay, this is like basically 5 minutes after only 20 years from all of that Nazi Germany stuff actually happening. Okay, 20 years later sounds like a long time. It's not.
No, it's not.
This just in, 20 years ago, it was 1999. Okay, it was 1999. Okay, for those of
actually,
us
we're about to go into 2020.
That's what I'm saying, but it was the end of 1999, 20 years ago. For those of us who were 30, 35 years of age or older, that was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it?
So you figure someone like my parents, who in 1967 were, I don't know, 40, in their early 40s. Okay, the mid to late, the early to mid 40s rather was just 15 minutes ago. and they're poking fun on a major CBS, mind you, the Tiffany network, which also, P.S., a Bing Crosby production, okay, are poking fun at. Of course, you can. It's good to poke fun at the dopey Nazi Germans because they're worthy of poking a lot of fun at.
Sure.
But it was only 20 years removed or so. That's what gets me, and all the all the little innuendo that it's tough to catch, but it's in there. I'm like, wow, But I'll watch like a Hogan's Heroes. I'll watch, even the dopey Green Acres. Okay,
Yep.
You want to talk about just funny for the sake of funny. Okay, Mr. Douglas, Mr. Haney and all this, and and the whole bit, this Oliver Wendell Douglas. What was Eddie Albert being the stiff city guy out in the country? It was funny. Yeah. It was funny, and I'll get a laugh out of that even all these years later. I watched The Big Bang Theory. Nope. Yeah, I'm sorry. And I have people like you who swear, oh, what a great show.
I know people, they love it. They love that show. I think it is amazing.
Carol from Bloomsburg. Loved that show. I'm like, sweetie, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. And it kind of, I try, and like I said, I tried. I've watched several episodes. And, like, again, I'll have, like, the occasional laugh, but it just doesn't, I need to have that warm, fuzzy feeling.
I agree.
And I get that. I get that from Friends. I get that from Seinfeld. I get that. I mean, there are shows that I get the warm, fuzzy feeling where I can watch them over and over again and still enjoy them and still be entertained.
Think of the mid to 80s,
Cheers. Love Cheers.
Early 90s, Thursday night lineup on NBC. Now, how the once mighty have fallen. You had Cosby at 8. That
was a great show.
I can't watch it anymore. I see it on the reruns, and I can't.
Well, you can watch Bob Crane.
Well, yeah. Bob Crane, that was 1977 when that all came to a head. That was 42 years ago.
I mean, Bill Cosby, I can still watch The Cosby Show, believe it or not, and not think about
I can't
him.
do it.
I can do it.
But think of those shows for a second.
Because I like the
Cosby
kids.
At 8. You had Family Ties at 8.
Oh, I loved Family Ties.
Sha-la-la-la.
Sha-la-la-la.
What can we do, baby, without us?
Sha-la-la-la.
And then at 9 o'clock, you had Cheers.
Love Cheers.
Again, so well written.
Oh, love Cheers.
Okay.
Love Cheers.
9:30. This was to me the least known and most misunderstood, but arguably, possibly the best out of the 4. Night Court.
I like Night Court.
Funny.
I don't know.
I
wouldn't put it
funny
better than Cheers,
but what?
I did like Night Court.
There were moments that it was to me, subjectively. It's just
Well, you know what? I think now that you say that, Harry Anderson is a little like you.
You think?
Yeah.
How so?
Just his comedic energy. Now that I think about it, I think is kind of like you. Didn't he die?
Yes.
He died,
That's
right?
A shame.
He did die. He reminds me, now that I think about it, just the comedic energy, just the energy is a little similar. But then there was like Selma. Was there Selma? The
Selma, and then she passed, and then Roz.
Roz came after Selma.
Marky Post.
Bull.
Oh my God, I had such a crush on Marky Post.
No, that was a good show. I'm going to agree
John
with you.
Larroquette as Dan Field.
John Larroquette.
He was perfect. He was perfect for that role.
That was a good show. There's some crazy shit. Now you think about it, and like I start flashing back to some shows. I mean, Mr. Belvedere, remember that?
Yeah, and you know what? And
Benson,
Bob Uecker, and this matters not.
Was in Mr. Belvedere.
Bob Uecker was
and he was a baseball player.
The main character, the main male character, the father. I don't believe, I could be wrong, but I don't believe initially he knew that the character played Mr. Belvedere was queer as a $3 bill. The guy
I didn't know
played
that
Mr.
either.
Belvedere, he was gay as the night was long, and and I forget what it was. And this is going to be a segue here because we talked about this offline a few days ago. Artie Lang from the Stern Show.
Oh my God!
I was listening over the weekend out and back to Pennsylvania on some old episodes, and he was talking about Bob Uecker, and then he's filthy. He's filthy. Like when he does ball games, he and a buddy went out to spring training one time and said, 3-2 to Jose Canseco, and there's a cough button. So when you have to cough, or when you don't want people to hear,
button,
you hit the cough button and it goes silent.
Yeah.
So here's what Uecker would do. 3-2 to Jose Canseco. Wow, look at the cans on that girl. He struck him out.
Well, remember, he was in that baseball film with Charlie Sheen.
Just a bit high.
What was the name of the film with Charlie
Major
Sheen?
League.
Major League, thank you.
Yeah, he was
he was the announcer.
Harry Doyle.
Yep.
Harry Doyle. Strike one. Ball 4. Ball 8. Ball 16. That's another one I could watch and see.
That is a good,
That makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
Artie was talking about it, so you had
Artie
them, you
Lang.
had Benson, Robert Guillaume. I thought Robert
Benson.
Guillaume was funny.
I like Robert Guillaume.
He just had
He had like that deadpan.
Yes.
He'd look, just look at the game.
Well, and
And he
again,
came from Soap. That was a
Right.
Soap spinoff.
Exactly right.
Yep.
That's one
And Soap-
I also
remember
didn't
Soap.
get into. For
You know what's
whatever
funny?
reason.
I did, and what's weird is that at that time I didn't watch a lot of television. I watched television, but that kind of show is a show I wouldn't have normally watched, and I don't
Right.
know how I got to watch it. I don't know who let me watch it. Like I don't know how I ended up seeing it.
Right.
Because I don't think that was something I should have been
I watched
watching.
a few episodes here and there. When
And that was the first gay character I ever saw.
Billy Crystal.
First time I don't even think I knew what that meant at the time. And then when I started working in theater as a kid, I started working in theater when I was 12.
Frisco.
Oh, yeah. So I think like that's kind of like, well, Billy Crystal, that was the first gay character. And then when I started in theater, I worked with a gentleman who has passed away named Stephen Light. And he was openly gay. And I think that's kind of where my acceptance started was between that show and Stephen. Because, a lot of people, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what it was.
Talent is talent.
Yeah,
okay?
I didn't know.
Clearly, Billy Crystal himself is not.
Yeah.
But that character on
Oh, it's-
Soap.
yeah.
Holy fright! And
Catherine
it
Hellman
was
was in there.
dead nuts spot on.
Yeah.
Well, just
Richard
like the two
Mall.
guys in Modern Family.
Yes.
Eric Stone Street, the larger fellow.
He's not.
He
he's
is not.
No, he's not.
But I forget the other.
The other
guy
gentleman is,
with
yes,
the red hair and the
correct.
beard. He is, and he makes no bones about it.
Well, the
and
Big Bang Theory guy, he's gay, but
Yes,
he plays
he is.
straight on the show.
He does.
Yep.
Again, talent is talent
Yeah, I don't give
is
a
talent.
crap. But yeah, talent's talent. If you're talented, you're talented.
Just don't be a jerk off. That's
yeah,
all.
just don't be mean.
That's all.
Don't be mean.
That's all.
Can we go back to Artie Lang? Because
Yes,
now you
please.
said it.
Sorry. Let's see what I did there.
I'm going to have to post. That picture was so
Disturbing.
disturbing that I think I have to post it on our page because I honestly, it popped up
I thought
on,
he was like a 65
You didn't even know who it was.
I said, oh, Eddie Van Halen. I'm like, no, he looked like he looked
a
like
boxer.
a
You said
boxer who
or
was about
something?
65 years old,
Oh,
been out of the game for
his
15, 20
nose.
years.
His
What nose? He's
nose.
got.
Oh my
His whole face is
God.
sunken, and it doesn't. You said it's Artie Lang, and I'm trying to look for Artie.
It's like crazy.
And I can't find him on that
it's
picture, but
crazy.
it's him.
And you know how it popped up on my social media because he was celebrating that he's been sober for 8 months, something like that. He's been sober. And so he was talking about in this article about how he's finally sober. And then they had this picture. And I saw the picture first and I went, well, who's this guy? And then I looked down and saw the article and it said Artie Lang. And I said, well, this is a mistake. This is not the right photo. They misprinted or something. I was shocked.
Yeah.
And then I sent it to John and I'm like, guess
Horrible.
who this is? And he couldn't even guess.
I couldn't.
Nope.
My first thing was,
shocked.
well, okay, Eddie Van Halen's looking long.
Yeah,
in
you
the
said Eddie
tooth.
Van Halen,
That
yeah.
was my first
Yeah.
guess, and it was a total guess. It wasn't even
Yeah.
an educated guess by Eddie Van Halen because I know that he's
That's-
he's
he's,
aged some, and
And he has that
he's-
tongue cancer thing going
Yeah,
on.
he's got a little scene going on. So I thought maybe because of that, I could see the misformation through this part of the face. I'm like, well, maybe that's Eddie Van. No, Artie Lang.
And even
Wow.
when I said Artie Lang, your reaction was
Just
like,
whoa,
what?
and whoa.
That,
Yeah.
that it's
Back
yeah.
the truck up. My God.
It's shocking.
You got
It's The picture is shocking. That's the only thing I can say. It's
well, here's a
shocking.
guy with a real good deal of talent. I'm not going to say he was, and he will probably tell you this too because I've heard him say it on the Stern Show repeats that I listen to. Here's a guy who's got a lot of talent. Not an A+ or an A list, maybe a B+, A-. Here's a guy who would go out on a weekend, make $80,000. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
doing a few shows, Yeah, I'm going up to Toronto this week, and I got 2 shows Saturday. I got a matinee on Sunday. I'll bring home 80 G's.
Right.
Okay, let me tell you what.
It went all up his nose.
That's good. Plus the money he got for all the years that he sat in the Jackie chair after Jackie the Joke Man Martling left the Stern Show.
He did it for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Remind me. Shameless plug.
No plug.
No.
Plug it now.
Well, when we're done with this picture of the conversation.
There's really not much more to say except that picture is shocking, and we're going to post it because I just, I don't even know what to say. I mean, God bless.
Well, right.
I hope he stays sober, and that's great. But wow,
it was. Okay. There are times when chemicals are our friends. There are times when they're not. You see this picture of Artie Lang.
Oh.
Chemicals were not his friends.
Oh.
Between up his nose and in his arteries and veins.
Whatever
that
else.
That poor guy.
His
I mean,
ass.
I know it's an addiction, and I know it's
addiction
difficult.
sucks, dude.
I can't speak to it personally, but you look at this guy and you can almost speak to it personally.
It's just such a.
My whole point was all
horrible.
the talent. Here's a guy again. He could knock down 80 grand on a weekend, plus all the coin he was bringing in on the Stern Show. I mean, this guy was he was making deep 6, if not 7 figures a year. Okay. And to have his situation, he's about my age. He's in his mid-50s, I think.
Yeah.
And to have his physical situation be what it is, whoa. And to quote Lawrence Taylor from
LT from the Giants.
From the Giants in The Waterboy, which brings us to our next topic: don't smoke crack, or
crack is whack.
Snort coke, or do heroin like Artie. He will tell you. If you ever listen to some of the old Stern, episodes, when he's when the conversation goes in that right direction, he will say, "Yeah, it's no good. It's been bad for me. I'm trying to get myself out of it." Yeah.
Well, addiction is just, I mean, I lived with an addict for 6 years, and it's.
I know you did. I can't even imagine.
It's just.
I love you.
And this was not just drugs; it was alcohol as well. And alcohol.
You say tomato, I say tomates.
Wow.
I mean,
alcohol in itself, and this is the thing about alcohol, which is so interesting to me. And I learned this being with him, because prior to that I drank. I mean, I went to a club, I drank. I went to a bar, I drank. I'm at my friend's house, I drank. I went to dinner, I drank. I mean, you drink. But when you live with someone who's an alcoholic, it's so interesting to me, because you realize that something that is completely legal, right? Yep. You can get it anywhere. Buy it any time. You can buy it in the middle of the night. You can buy it in the middle of the day. You can buy it in large quantities, and then you can consume it until it kills you.
Right.
And you can do that, and not only does it kill you, but it affects your insides.
It alters you.
It alters you physically, mentally, and you look like shit.
Ugh.
I mean, it physically makes you look 90 years older. I mean, you start getting the bags and the wrinkles, and I mean, alcohol is so terrible. And I don't think anybody even looks at alcohol like they'll look at a drug. And like his drug of choice, he did a little bit of cocaine, but he liked the opioids. He liked the Percocets. He's
really
he popped Percocets like candy.
Wow.
And so he would do probably about 5 to 10 Percocets a day.
What would it do for him? Any idea? I don't know.
Well, this is what's weird about it, because when he used to take the perks, it was because he said he had pain as he worked in construction in his knees and his back and his wrist. I don't know, whatever. But I can tell you, like, I remember he had a toothache. He didn't have health care. And so he would never go to the doctor. So you have a drug addict and an alcoholic who would never go to the doctor. So he always had issues, and he'd take so many perks to take away the pain. And so between his alcohol and his drugs, and his physical ailments, not going to the doctor, he'd always had like things wrong, broken bones and sprains and sores and who knows what. But the thing that sticks out the most to me was he had a really bad toothache. and he just left it and left it and left it, and it started to like abscess, you know. And I kept saying, you got to go to the dentist. You got to go to the dentist. Well, dentists are very expensive, as you know. He had no health care, and most of his money was going towards drugs and alcohol, or he was stealing it from me. And so he went in the bathroom, took a pair of pliers, and pulled out his tooth.
Oh, what?
Swear to God. And I have a picture of the tooth somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I do have a picture of the tooth.
Wow.
I took a picture, and I said that epitomizes everything to me. And I went through a lot with this man, and let me tell you something.
Let me ask you a question. If you don't want to answer, don't answer.
Go ahead.
Is that about the point you said, you know what?
No.
Is this trip really worth it? What?
No.
Oh, my.
I'll tell you, it was when you're with an addict, you get this maternal thing. And I loved him dearly. I still love him. I love him as and I knew him prior to us living together. We had known each other for about 10 years prior to that. On and off. We dated on and off, and you know, whatever. But I always had hope for him. And I always felt like I could fix him, and he would change, and I could make him quit. I could do this. I could do this. So I had these delusions. So even when things were really, really, really bad, I said, I can fix him. I'll make it better. And the moments when he was sober, which were like very few and far between, he was an amazing, wonderful person. But when he was high or drunk, he was evil. I mean, evil like evil. I can't even begin to say, because I don't even want to say on air a lot of the stuff he did.
Doesn't matter.
But things like that you only see on like Dateline. Think of it that way, like that kind of stuff.
OMG.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think my breaking point, honestly, was when he went in and out of rehab 3 times. And by the 3rd time, I said, he's never going to get better as long as I'm with him. It's never going to happen. And I realized that I was the enabler. Thank you.
Whoa.
So I realized, because the problem is, if he didn't get his booze and drugs,
right,
he would take it out on me.
Oh.
So I would run out and get him his booze and drugs, so he would be nice to me. And it was a vicious circle. So to me, it was like, what's worse? Him being really, really mad at me and being abusive, or him just being drunk and high and just leaving me alone. And I kind of went with the latter. And
until you didn't.
Till I just said, this is it. I just can't anymore. But it just it's
same
crazy.
with Artie. He had that girlfriend Dana for a long time, and I think it may have been a similar situation to where after so much, she just was like, you know what? We're done.
Yeah,
I'm
and
out.
you try. And there are women that stick it out. God bless. There are women that will stick it out. But I honestly, and you know what's the weird thing? There are moments, even now, that sometimes I feel loving towards him. Like I kind of think about him because he was an important part of my life. But what I did was when we were together, I used to record when he would abuse me. And I said, I need to keep this, because I said, if he kills me, who knows, or something happens. I always wanted to keep it as proof, just in case something happened to me. And I kept it to this day, and I still have them, because I think whenever I feel like a love, I play it and listen to it to remember that moment. And the worst part about listening to that is my response. It's not what he's doing. What he's doing is what he's doing. I mean, it's my response to him, because I sound like a completely different person.
Wow.
I don't even know who that girl is. I'm like, who is that girl? Because she sounds weak, and I don't know. It's like almost I embarrass myself, even though it's a poor choice of words, but I feel like I listen to it and I go, how could I have not been like, F you, go to hell? You know, why was I not strong? I don't know. It's weird. It's a really weird thing.
Time and circumstance have a way of, with decent people like what you were in, to me, it has a way of catching up with you in such a way to where maybe it's not the literal, you know what, I'm out, you suck, eat shit, blah, blah. It's just, you know what, no mas.
Yeah.
No more. I'm done.
Yeah.
I am done. I've put up with, and all of a sudden there's a time and chronology just flip a switch.
Yeah.
And it's different for everybody.
It is.
And all of a sudden, you know, it in a decent, good, positive way, it not always, but tends to catch up with somebody decent. For the person who's not so decent, time, and you just mentioned it, time has a way of fast forwarding and catching up with you and almost overtaking you, to where someone like your person, or someone like an Artie Lang, the guy's, I'm just going to spitball here. Artie, let's just say he's in his mid-50s. He looks like he's damn near 70.
Yeah, it's shocking.
His body is probably just reeling from all the abuse it took. So time has fast-forwarded and caught up with him in a big, bad, ugly way. And other people like that. And it's a shame because, like you just said, in there, if you were to peel that apart a little bit and really get in this pelt and rattle around a little bit and see what's doing, there's a decent person. Artie, you know, again, you only know what you know from where, if and when you saw him at a performance, or heard him and or see him video wise on the Stern show, up to where finally Howard had to let him go.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. I do remember that.
Hated it. Oh my God!
Because he loved him. He loved it. You know, he did. He really, really did.
Truly did.
He did.
And he has. I've heard him say it.
Yeah.
And I've heard Artie say it back to him.
Yeah.
But I've also heard, but Artie, you've got to
Get it clean.
And there was a lot of times when it was this close, and Howard is. You know, say what you want about Howard Stern. You talk about a decent sort. There's a guy in there. He does what he does. He has done what he's done to get where now he is. He had a plan all these years.
Yep.
Okay. And he's a good sort. He really and truthfully is.
He's a good heart.
Yeah. And for the good of him, the show, and for Artie Lang, he had to let him go. He had to cut him loose.
He had to do it, right. And you have to do it. You can't
You had to cut him loose.
You can't carry that person. Really? Yeah. You can't carry that person. She knows I'm on the air.
Does she?
Yeah, of course she does. Every Wednesday. She knows the deal. Here's the problem is that I hope it didn't stop our, hold on a second.
It probably didn't.
I think it does.
Oh,
I
really?
think it does, yeah.
The podcast thing?
Yeah, I think it stops it when someone calls. Not if texts or anything, but if somebody calls. And no one ever calls me at this time because they know better.
Right.
Except for her.
Right.
Yeah, it stopped. It stopped.
Nuts.
Hold on a second.
It's just a moment.
Hold on a second.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. To the shameless plug. Okay, so now back to Thanksgiving weekend. Yes, I spent Thursday and the first portion of Friday here in New Jersey at home with my dad. And I made sure we had turkey and Thanksgiving, you know, and potatoes and stuffing and what, and he was happy with it. I made my point known after he got a little sideways first thing that morning about you're not the only one who, you know, has it tough during the holidays, because I think he thinks that I'm just, again, like, whatever, no big deal, yay. No, right. I miss my mother. Okay, I miss all the family who were around years ago.
At that time, right?
During my formative years that were so very great. There's a song, Mannheim Steamroller does a version of Silent Night that literally.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's Carol with the Bells.
Oh, sorry. That's the only one I heard.
They do a version of Silent Night that's not the version. That literally can bring me to tears if I really think about it, because it just conjures up all kinds of images. I can literally, and I was listening to it last night on the way home, I could literally, even driving, see my grandparents' house inside, you know, the whole thing. So, you know, it's one of those deals. You get through it. So that was Thursday and into Friday for me here in New Jersey. Out to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania to see Jamie and Jack. Everybody's doing pretty great, by the way, I have to say.
Very nice.
We had a nice little get-together with some friends on Saturday. We had a blast. It was a lot of fun. We had good food. We did a Thanksgiving around the world kind of a thing.
Oh.
So yeah, we did Southwest, Jamie and I. Well, mostly Jamie. I helped with the shopping a little bit on Friday. But I digress. She is so busy with
how busy is she?
She's, because when she sits around the house, she sits around it. No, that's not it. Dumb Dora was so dumb. How dumb was she?
Oh no.
She's busy certainly with work. She works early, so she's up early. But she has gotten a couple of things here that she has lit on. She, she does like various and sundry different crafty things. She has done craft shows, whether it's for the holidays or whenever else, primarily the holidays. She does all kinds of neat stuff. Go on Facebook, folks. Do yourself a little favor. If you're looking for something for somebody and you don't know what the heck I can get them, I've got a couple of suggestions. Yes, there's the country wood crafts that she does. Country Crafts by Jamie Lee, Leigh. Country Crafts by Jamie Lee. Check it out. Search for it on
Country
Facebook.
Crafts.
Okay. Now, the two things that she has done recently, which to me, brilliant. I mean, whether it's, one thing or another. In the car, and my truck is proof positive. You've seen it. You'll see it in an hour. I've got, granted, not a lot, but I've got a receipt here, maybe a chewing gum wrapper there. Once in a while, if I don't pay attention, a napkin someplace else. It's kind of messy. She makes these little trash bags for in your vehicle. She can do them whatever fabric. If you've got some gal who runs around in her vehicle, you can get like girly fabric. You're I don't know, a New York Yankees fan, you can get New York Yankees fabric. You Penn State football,
Sure.
and so forth. You put these bags in, and you say, well, won't they get nasty with the fabric?
They're washable.
Oh, no. Well, first of all. Second of all, no, they won't. Because what she does, she gets this other fabric for the lining that is moisture-proof resistant. It won't bugger up the outside fabric. Okay? You fill this thing, the car litter bags, okay? Litter with whatever it is, trash, rubbish, junk, stuff, but they're car litter bags. That's what they are called.
Nice.
Okay? They clean up. If by chance you get something a little schmutzy in there,
Schmutzy.
you can turn it inside out, just quickly, fast, wipe it off, done. Okay? You want to wash it, you wash it. Here's the other thing that I thought was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You use lip balm at all?
I do.
Okay. How many times you misplace it, leave it someplace when you need it?
Well, what I do is I buy multiple ones because of that reason. So if I lose one, there's always one on backup. So I usually buy 3 or 4 at a time. Usually.
How would you like to not have to worry about that?
Well, tell me more, John.
Well, here's the good news. And she hit me with this a couple of weeks ago. I said, this is absolutely brilliant. She makes a little key fob about the size of this connector right here, okay, of the metal silver portion of the connector. It's a key fob that you put on your keys. It's only this big, so it's not gargantuan, big giant thing on your key ring. And what she has is this little pouch that you put the lip balm in. Mm-hmm. It's snug enough to where it won't fall out, okay? But it's loose enough to where you can just,
take it out,
ease it out, like a toothpaste kind of idea, or just, pull it up from the top. Brilliant. $5. $5.
And she makes them at home?
She makes them herself at home. She's whacking away right now.
Oh.
Yeah, on the sewing machine. With these litter bags, what are they, $10, James? They're please, you can't go wrong.
That's exciting.
Well, but you know what? It's basic. Some people may be like, well, that's not real exciting. Exciting,
I think it is.
It's useful. It's helpful, and plus, it doesn't. Remember the old litter bags that they used to hand out at the gas station? They were plastic,
yes,
and white, and they would, Jim's Esso. Okay, big deal, and they really didn't look good. They were helpful, functional, but they were, just,
I like the lip balm idea.
The lip balm idea.
That's my favorite.
I literally, she told me about this a couple of weeks ago, and online, she texted me with the photo and just a quick description, and my reply was one word: brilliant, because I think it is.
Yeah, we should sell those. Go on Shark Tank.
Ooh.
With that.
QVC. Yeah. Right on.
She talking to you about?
No, she is, but somebody else too. Our friend Frank. is chiming in.
Susino.
Yeah, it's him.
Susino. Frankie.
He's Peachy Keno.
Peachy Keno.
So anyway,
Susino.
yeah, Country Crafts by Jamie
Very
Lee
exciting.
on Facebook. Check it out. Hit the search area up there at the the upper left of your page there on Facebook. Country Crafts by Jamie, Jami Lee, Leigh. There's no E at the end of Jamie.
Country
And
Crafts.
Lee is Leigh. Country Crafts by Jamie Lee. Telling you.
Very nice.
Just, good stuff. I mean, if it wasn't good stuff, I literally, no matter who she is to me,
Very
I wouldn't
nice. I like
be
it.
so effusive. It's good stuff.
I like it a
have
lot.
to say.
I like
It's
it.
called the Balm Fob. The BALM fob, by the way, for your lip balm.
Nice.
Balm fob.
My bomb, 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 bomb.
See? She doesn't like that.
I like it.
Which is why I do it.
No, I'll do it too.
No, it's literally the Balm Fob and the car. What you call it again? Hold on, I have to get this correct because you have to find it. The Balm Fob and the car litter bags. Learn it.
Car litter bag. Give it a better name, Jamie.
Well, but
Car
they are.
litter
But
bags?
here's
I
the
mean,
thing: they
I'll give her a new name.
They are what they are.
I'm going to come up with a name for her.
Were you
Well,
really?
she came up with the bomb fob, but
No, she
then
did not.
What? What do you mean? No, she did not.
No, she did not.
Oh, somebody else did.
Yep.
All right. So,
This guy.
oh, geez. So then we got to come up with a different one for the garbage bags because that's boring.
But,
We need
but the thing of
we're
it is,
going to make it kitschy and fun.
yeah, but it is what it is. It says what it is. It's a car litter
I
bag.
don't care. I'm going to help you.
I'm good with it.
I'm
Okay.
going to help you with that.
Make it sizzle.
I'm going to make it sizzle, man. Marketing, baby. Marketing.
Country Crafts by Jamie Lee.
I
Learn
like
it. Know it. Live it.
So, over the weekend, because I had that long 4.5 day
Oh, stop.
wonderful weekend, I was like, what am I going to watch on TV? So I started watching documentaries.
The weekend.
I started watching documentaries.
Which ones?
Oh, there's so many. I can't even tell you about everything. Documentaries about celebrities, documentaries about food,
Coming up,
documentaries about
How Def
animals.
Leppard nearly lost it all.
Yeah, documentaries about crime, because I love my crime stuff. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I have to address this. It's very important. I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
So I honestly, 100% was never into the Jonas Brothers. Never, 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 never. It's not my cup of tea. Never really. I thought they're like a bubblegummy, poppy type of thing. And the first time
Like Hanson.
yeah, that's what. Even though Hanson now is they're very, they're different now. But at the time, so and I remember the first time I had seen the Jonas Brothers was on this show called Camp Rock on Disney, and the only reason I knew about it was because my vocal students at the time wanted to do sing Camp Rock songs, and I to this day, I said, oh, Jonas Brothers, not for me. So I noticed there's been this resurgence with them, and they were they've been on award shows and talk shows, and they have that sucker song, which I actually like. I'm a sucker for you. Du, 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 du. I'm a sucker for you. That song.
Not familiar, but go ahead.
And that's a big song right now. And then, and they did their solo stuff. Like one of the brothers did "Cake by the Ocean." No, that's not "Cake by the." Okay, whatever. Anyway, so here's the thing. So I'm going through my music documentaries. I'm like, so there's
because music is the doctor.
Yeah, I like watching documentaries.
Said the Jonas Brothers in 1989.
They had the Jonas Brothers documentary, and I'm like, I don't even like these guys. I said, but for some reason, something drew me to this documentary.
Watch that doc.
I said, I'm going to watch it.
Watch that doc.
And I have a
Watch
100.
that doc.
Are you done?
Watch that doc.
I have a 100% new respect for that group. I had no. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to have a new respect for them.
I may.
First of all, they're born and raised in Jersey.
Right.
They're from Wyckoff, New Jersey.
Yeah, North Jersey, a couple of towns from where my dad grew up.
That's where they're from. Let's talk about Wyckoff for a second.
Go ahead.
Because it isn't going to be nice what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
So, did you know? You obviously didn't. So, the Jonas Brothers, their father was a reverend in a church. Reverend or father?
Like the Reverend in Jackson.
So, he ran this church in Wyckoff. And he...
With a bunch of whack-offs. Or not.
So he also lived next door to the church,
And
he
the
ran the
parsonage.
church. That was his full-time job.
course.
Was the church.
Of course.
So the boys grew up in a church. I mean, that's what it was. Everything was church, God, everything, right?
Okay.
So the boys were very talented, and he saw that. So he kind of pushed them in the direction of music. So they sang in the church, they sang
choir, of
Christian
course,
music,
yeah.
choir and stuff. So the youngest one, he had a really good voice, and he pushed his mom to bring him to New York City to audition for Broadway.
New York City.
So he goes to New York, and he auditions for these Broadway shows, and he
Right.
gets the parts.
Right.
So he started off in Broadway, right?
Very talented.
So then the other brother starts. Well, anyways, to make a long story short. So here's the thing. So now the three brothers say, maybe we have something here. Why don't the
course.
three of us get together and start a group and whatever? Now they had to hide it from the church because their music wasn't Christian. It was just regular music. I mean, it wasn't bad music.
What kind of church was this?
Oh, wait. This is why I'm so mad. Why? I'm like, Wyckoff, New Jersey. So they get big. They get signed by Sony. That was their first record label. And they released their first album, which is actually a rock album.
Okay.
It wasn't even pop. The church got word of it. And the church fired their father,
No.
kicked him out, evicted him from the house.
Well,
Swear to
he goes
God,
to
'cause it was like,
parsonage because the church owns it.
and got everything. The kid's gone. He's
What?
out. Kid, and they said because his kids weren't singing Christian music, and that makes him not
What
Christian.
the heck kind of church is
And I said,
this?
well, not only that, I said, what year are we in? These are young kids. This
Oh, I
is
know.
not like the 1800s.
This is like, what, 15 years ago?
2000s, early 2000s.
Again, 15 years
Yeah,
ago?
yeah.
What
and
the crap?
And so the father, and then they got dropped from their label. So they had no money, no job. They had to rent an apartment from a friend and squeeze. They all had to stay in one room.
Wow.
And while they tried
Wow.
to get the Jonas Brothers back on track. And luckily they got signed by another label and the rest is history. But they had to go through that. And the church, not only did the church ostracize them and kick them out, but they can't even go back to visit. So in the documentary, the three of them went home. This is recent, like last year.
Oh.
And they said, we can't go in the church. I go, is this, what year
Do
is
we
this?
know what denomination?
Wyckoff.
No. What
Oh.
denomination of church this
Let me
is?
I'm going to find out while we're talking.
Holy crap.
And I was shocked. I was shocked by it because I was thinking they did this to this man, took away his livelihood, and he built that church. They talked about how
you got
the
the glasses, by the way.
Oh yeah, he built that church.
Yeah.
up from nothing, and all the parishioners and they were all following him. He was the main guy, and because his kids got famous not singing Christian music,
So
he was
what?
ousted. Swear to God. I
Better
can't
not.
even- I'm gonna find out. Right now. I know. Oust me, you mother! It made me mad. I
Here's
gotta
the
say, it
thing.
made me mad.
There is, and I've heard this from people who
tell you.
are those that one would listen to or tune into or see or visit or what have you, who
Okay.
are in heading up a congregation. That the problem with religion or churches at sometimes, not always, but sometimes,
Wyckoff
is that they
Assembly-
get in the way of what should be done. An actual good Christian, decent, whatever you want to call it, way. And you get these people back years, centuries ago, they were called zealots. You get these people who were just whipped up over whatever this kind of nonsense here into a lather. You know what? Then good. I'm out. Bye. Because there's better for me coming up. I don't know when. Well, clearly these guys, there was better for them. Good for them. Absolutely good
Yep.
for them.
It was the Wyckoff Assembly of God.
Oh, there you go.
Is
There
some
you go.
Christian, I don't know. But actually, I just found this article on a Christian newspaper, and they said that in the documentary, you don't hear their side of the story, meaning the church's side of the story. So they're like, and it says recently talked to two former
speak about them.
Yeah, recently talked to two former members of the Wyckoff Assembly who said the documentary was inaccurate in the portrayal of the church. The board had concerns about Pastor Jonas managing the band and serving as a senior pastor, among other concerns, they said. Unfortunately, the situation led to a church split, with some people siding with Pastor Jonas and eventually leaving the church, and others seeking his resignation. So, I mean, it was a big deal, I guess. Here he says, this is the father says, the day I resigned at Wyckoff Assembly of God, it was really devastating. I couldn't even read my resignation letter, he said.
I'm sure not.
Yeah. And so so that's interesting.
Doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter if it's the Wyckoff Assembly of God, or if it's the McDonald's, you're the manager, or you're the GM over at the Target store. If somebody all of a sudden gets on your case to the point to where you have to go, that hurts.
Well, and I tend to side with them just because he dedicated his entire life, like from when they were born, to this church. And so he was like, he was on the side, like managing his son, but they're his sons.
Yes.
It's not like he was managing some group. This is his children.
I got these kids from down the street. They got talent. You know what? I can recognize it, even though I'm the pastor.
Yeah, I mean, this is his children. So what?
That's what his kids.
He was his child, right? So I found that interesting. But so I watched that, and it really struck me. And I said, you know what? That gives me a whole new respect for this group. And the fact is, I thought this whole time they were a Disney group, which they are not. They actually were a regular band, and they came up with their dad, and they were very, very talented, and I had a whole newfound respect for them. I really didn't even know that they had nothing to do with.
I saw a piece on them. I'm trying to remember where and when, probably within the last 6 months, and I think perhaps on CBS this morning, about how, they didn't get into all of that. And if they did, they glanced on it very, very briefly. But they did get into the, they got big, and then they kind of didn't get big, and then they got really, really big, and then how.
Oh, there was a time when everyone hated them. Like, everyone hated them, and they were getting booed, and they went through this.
And they went through that, and then guys being what guys are. I mean, please, Led Zeppelin. I mean, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page can barely stand to be in the same room together, let alone play together. But they're brilliant when they do.
Right.
Okay. Same thing here, the brothers, and plus when you're a family, holy Fred, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, they went through that we hate each other
the
moment.
whole McGilla, and then the host on the show of the piece, they talk to all three of them and how this one's got kids and he's very much into being a dad, but they're now all back together doing their thing and being real happy about it and fairly successful.
I like it. And I honestly, I have a newfound respect for them just because I watched their struggle through this documentary, and I'm thinking, I had no idea. And I think I love watching rock documentaries or music documentaries because I like to see where someone started and how they struggled to get where they needed to go. And there's a few like that, Lady Gaga's another one. Like, I like seeing them in like a club or a bar, some seedy place, making no money, wearing holy jeans and just with a guitar, saying hopefully one day I'll make it. Like, I love those stories. Those are appealing. Well, see, I love that.
We as a overall fan of music society to whatever degree, we don't see that.
No.
We don't see that. We only see when Lady Gaga or, back in the old days, back in the early 80s when Madonna, is this quote unquote instant overnight, just add water, success. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
We didn't see all the stuff that went on for the 10, 15, however many years previous, sitting doing these dopey clubs, having to get with whomever to get a little,
airplay
or stage time or something. Yep. Whether it's a musician, a comedian, an actor, a performer.
Backup singers.
Yeah, there's
Madonna was a backup singer on that. Born to be alive. Born to be alive. She was one of the girls who went doot 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 doot. That was her. She was a backup singer. Luther Vandross was a backup singer for David Bowie. Yeah. And he sang that, all right, we were the young American. That was Luther Vandross. I love that too. I love those stories. I just love to see where they started and watch them because it gives me a newfound respect for that artist.
Because you know what? These people who come, and here's the latest overnight success, you've got no idea. It's now 2019. You have no idea what these cats were doing back in 95 when they were 17 looking to chase a dream.
Right. Right.
You just
And I love
don't
it.
know.
I love
You just
it.
don't know. And now they're 40 something, and they look like they're 35. They're 42. They're killing it. They're selling out their venues, whether
Yep.
it's the Count Basie or Madison Square Garden or wherever in between, and they're loving life. God bless them.
And they're from
of course-
Jersey.
and whomever.
And what is it
I
with
mean
Wyckoff?
whomever. I mean
And what is it with that town? Do you know anything about that town? Wyckoff?
I haven't been up there probably in 25, 30 years. I mean, it's just.
Is it small?
Yeah, they're all
Small.
little towns. I
Little
mean,
town.
Waldwick, Hohokus,
What's it next
Wyckoff.
to?
Sorry?
What's it near?
It's near Ramsey and Mahwah.
Okay, I know Mahwah.
It's the next town. You got Mahwah, Ramsey. Back when my father lived in Mahwah, there was no Mahwah High School. He had to go to Ramsey High School, and then down through Ramsey, and then it's Wyckoff. It's a nice-looking little town.
Yeah.
It's a neat little town.
I think we
Looking.
sold some solar there. I think so.
But I wouldn't put the bad mouth on the town. I would put a little bit of the bad mouth on these knuckleheads that are part of this Assembly of God contingent.
It's so weird.
Well, and from what I understand, that sect, that denomination can get a little
Yeah.
overpassionate about their situation.
In the 2000s. What?
It doesn't matter.
So
It
weird.
is what it is.
It is bizarre.
And
I don't know. I
you know
find that
what?
very strange.
Back when I was playing church league softball, fist fight. We didn't have one of those.
No, because it's a church.
Some other people did though.
Mm.
But when I was out in Berwick, Pennsylvania, as part of the church league softball league, our church, we went to a Methodist church back then. We played all kinds of. We played the different Methodist, the Lutheran church, this one, that one, and the Assembly of God. And I'm remembering these Assembly of God people. They were nice folks, but there was just something about them to where they wouldn't kibitz on the field. They wouldn't mix it up
Right.
much with the other team. We were always just jawing, "Hey man, how you doing?" Yeah, and these guys wouldn't. These folks would not. I mean, it was co-ed, so folks, people,
Right.
they just kind of like, oh,
It's almost a kind of a little bit
yeah.
cultish, a little bit.
Well,
Yeah, a
it
little
just
bit.
we're better than you, and we kind
yeah.
of know it, but we're not going to put that up in your face. Really? Wait till we beat your ass. Which
Yeah, some religions I
sometimes we do.
don't even get it. I mean,
And-
you know
and-
what?
And the problem with religion, it gets in the way of, oftentimes, not always, but sometimes it'll get in the way of doing the right thing.
Well, and the hypocrisy of it to me
Thank
is
you.
is that here's a church that's ousting, these boys and the father and whatever they're doing. But, if you are a believer of God, I mean, God loves all, and God, you should be
Yeah.
praising these children for, making, something of themselves and
Well, not for nothing.
and
Thanks, God, for these people's success.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what isn't that when you embrace this success? Because if you are religious, you believe that God has to do something with success. That God is the one that gifts somebody with success. So if you really believe that, then when you have embraced them, so to me, it's like you're going against God. So
I agree.
Hypocrisy.
Because here's my take on that, and here's okay, religious corner with your Uncle John. My whole take on it, and I didn't know I knew this, even though I knew this years ago growing up. I grew up going to a Lutheran church in East Brunswick. My mother and father literally helped build it from nothing. They used to, in the late 50s, gather at an elementary school when you could still do that, before they could actually build the physical church. So I grew up at Nativity Lutheran Church, in East Brunswick, corner of Riders Lane and Dunham's Corner Road. It's, it is what it is. There were nice people there. There were some people who I found out as I got older and my eyes got open that they seemed nice, but ooh, man, there's another whole side of them. Okay?
Hypocrisy.
Sidebar for a second. They're just, oh, isn't it wonderful, the glory of the day on Sunday. But like on Wednesday, they're like, hey, what the crap? Screw you. Eat it. Suck a big wiener. Wait a minute.
Like, you can't love God.
This is the same guy that was
Yeah.
like, isn't it
So
lovely
weird.
on Sunday? Okay.
How can you be a child of God and
be a-
embrace God and then be like that?
Be a total jerk off, okay?
I don't get that.
But here's my take on it, okay? And there's all this that clearly this to me, let me preface it, this to me with these people up in Wyckoff having a problem, the ones who had a problem with all this are the ones who are, and God will smite you down. He's going to punish you. Ooh, he's angry with you. Ooh,
God's angry because they didn't sing Christian music.
bullshit. Let me tell you a little something about what I think about God, and I'm not going to go on. I'm just going to say, you know what? He wants us to be happy and successful
Yes.
and
positive
prosperous, laden just all over with favor and abundance and stuff
Happy.
and happy. And that to me makes from him on down everybody happy. These people who come at it with this attitude and he's angry with you. No.
He's angry.
No, he may, to me, he may not be real pleased with some of the stuff we do from time to time, but guess what? When we're done doing the dopey stuff, we're still all his favorite.
We
done.
are.
That's all I have to
That's
say
what I'm
about
saying,
that.
yeah.
Done and done. And for these people to put, the kibosh basically on this family, you know what? Good for them from rising up out of the ashes. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yep.
We're going to show them. We're going to boot them out, and then they're going to have a problem. Yeah.
I guess not.
God's going to get you for that bullshit.
I guess not.
No.
And then that's the other hypocrisy of it. God's going to get you for that. And then it's like, oh, look at all the success they have.
And there
where
you
are
have
you?
it.
And where are you?
And there you have
you
it.
doing?
You know what? Be happy that the whole take on this is, you know what? Happiness, success, joy, abundance, blessings. I don't mean to come off like a televangelist, and if I do, too bad, too freaking bad. But this is, to me, where it's at. If it's not for you, okay, it's not for you. But guess what? As you can tell, I could probably go on for 2 hours on this,
There's
but
the
I
church
won't.
right there. That's it right there. Just a little thing.
Okay,
Little Jonas Brothers Church. There it is. Little
okay,
church.
that's a nice looking
church.
nice looking little building. I mean, it looks like a Currier and Ives church someplace
But
in
you
New
ostracize
England.
people. No good. No good.
Well, at least the ones who do. Like you said, there were those, I guess, who didn't, but the ones who did were impactful enough for send these other people down the road.
Yep.
Ride them out in the rail. All right, Mr. Potter. Well, whatever. Goodbye.
I don't know. I just like, so I
I'm
found
glad that they worked out okay.
Yeah, and you know
Because that
what?
was a nice piece I saw too, and this is good that everything worked out.
I was happy, and I'll tell you something. I like that they're from Jersey. I like it, and I like when I see people from Jersey making it. It's nice. From Boston, people from Jersey.
I like that.
Happiness.
I like it when I just like it when I see that for whatever reason, okay, whether it's one thing, one entity or another, is able to provide somebody success, abundance, favor, prosperity, call it what you want. You get these idiots out there say, oh, well, I'll use the Jonas Brothers as an example. Look at them back successful again. Must be nice. When I hear people say crap like that, I said, you know what?
Miserable.
I bet you I'm guaranteeing you it is nice. Could you imagine being able to sing and perform music as singers and musicians?
Sure.
Doing what you really enjoy. They don't go to work a day in their lives because they're enjoying what it is they do. Mm-hmm. I think we're all grasping and looking for that. And some people have it. Some people have it. Or at least have elements of it. I'm looking for it again. I'm always on the hunt.
The pursuit of happiness.
That's it. And God love him, and I know he does. Sorry, but it's true.
Yep.
That they have gone through all this crap, shit, junk, garbage, and now, they're back.
I think it's
Say
great.
what you want. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, me too. And I that's why I loved. I had a newfound respect, and I think
Good.
anybody who struggles,
It's worth half their salt.
and makes it struggles
Yeah.
and struggles. I love that. I love stories like that. I'm going to watch. There's some other ones I'm going to watch now. There's there's a new one coming out. I just saw that. But yeah, so if you go to Amazon Prime, they have all these documentaries of all these music documentaries. They have another one coming out. Mary J. Blige was the next one. But I like watching that. There's a Coldplay one. There's a Pink one. There's Lady Gaga.
Right.
So it's just like from the beginning to where they became, and I like it. I think it's great.
Well, and I think back too. Now, granted, he's gotten a little, come on in. You're playing a little deep, with a lot of things, whether it's political or whether it's this or that or just whatever. But back when Jim Carrey came, quote unquote, out of the proverbial nowhere, not true. He went through all that crap himself. His family, they lived in a...
Oh, the actor?
No, Jim Carrey. Ace Ventura. Petty
That's what I
Detective.
mean. The actor, Jim Carrey. Yeah, he's from
He-
Canada.
Yeah,
Toronto.
exactly. But before he was an actor, he was a comic.
Yes, he was.
Okay, not just him, his family slept in their
That's true. In their
van
vehicle.
or station
That's
wagon.
true. Yeah.
Okay, yet he still got up on stage as a young guy, teen or early 20-something years old, and did his routine, killing it.
Yeah.
For an audience, maybe twice as big as this room. Okay, and then you know what? Good things happened to him. Again, okay, 35 years later, he's
making a resurgence now. He actually has a show on HBO or
which
Showtime.
is, you know,
Showtime.
I
now.
always kind of dug him, but just now I'm gonna say.
Well, he was
this.
unique.
If you're an entertainer, do me a favor. Let that be that. Entertain.
Yeah.
I don't entertain me. Make me interested in what you're doing. Make me laugh if you're a comic or a comedian. Do good acting if you're an actor. Make me interested in what you're doing and do a very great job. I don't want to hear what you think of the president or the Congress or the governor or the government
or religion
or the governor or the government of Mazatlan or religion.
What do we say? Politics, religion. Nobody talks about it. We
Please,
don't talk about it.
There are people that's what they do to butter their bread. You entertain me.
Butter their bread. I'm hungry.
You're playing ball. You're playing football. You're playing baseball. You're playing hockey, basketball. You're a golfer. You play tennis. You're an actor. You're a comedian. You're an entertainer. Entertain me. I don't want to hear out of you about politics and religion.
You said butter your bread, and that made me hungry.
Yeah, I could eat.
I'm freaking hungry.
I know. I was looking for something before I left the.
Yeah, I didn't even really get to
G-spot,
grab
and I was
anything.
like,
I gotta get a Christmas tree.
You have to?
I kind of feel like I have to.
This isn't Russia. Is this Russia?
I kind of feel like I have to.
Okay. All right.
A little one, like a baby one, Charlie Brown one, though. Nothing
Take
crazy.
the one behind the wall.
What?
Take the one right here behind the wall.
Oh,
little small one.
No, real.
Oh.
I don't do fakey.
Okay.
I don't do no fakes. You know why? Because I grew up with a fake tree my whole life. And then after my mom passed away, I said, you know what? I'm on my own. And I used the fake tree. Let's get this. My mom passed away, and I got everything. And so I would use our fake tree. And then when I moved to Boston, I said the first thing I did was, I will never have a fake tree again.
Okay.
And that was it. Never have.
I used to love when I was a kid. We would go to the tree lots, the places that sold the trees. Mm-hmm. And
I love the smell.
And back then it would, it's kind of like that weather-wise now a little bit, but to me back then this would be in the late 60s, early 70s, it got colder, so you would walk through the aisles of trees, with the stands like this,
Yeah.
maybe, leaning up. Wow, that's a great aroma. Oh man, and the place, Ruse Lane and Summerhill Road. It's not there anymore. It hasn't been there for years. There was a little farm. I think it was called Mom's Market, and I think Mom herself, this kind of, it didn't creep me out, but it confused me at like 4 and 5 years old. She would dress up as Santa Claus and hand out candy, because I guess nobody else would do it, and hand out candy canes and stuff. And she was very, hey, Merry Christmas, and she was very happy and upbeat.
It's very exciting.
It was great.
You know what? I'm excited about Christmas.
Okay.
I'm excited. I went through a little depression not that long ago, a little bit of a lull, and was like kind of bumming out. And then, I think God, and this is, I say God put something in my hands, and now I'm in a good place, and work for a good company who is just wonderful to me and treats me very well. And
what could you ask for more?
That's all, that made me happy. Get my health, and,
I hear you.
This is, and that's what I'm thankful for, actually, speaking about Thanksgiving that just passed. But
which brings us back to dough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just my health and good friends, and being able to actually have a job where I'm treated with respect and love and support, and that doesn't happen often.
That does not.
And I don't have people calling me names or putting me down. It's pretty freaking amazing. So I say what up to Jen Renew. That's my company. They're awesome. I'll give them a
Right
shout
on.
out. They deserve it. They're good
Well,
people.
That's positive.
Yeah.
That's very positive.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
and
very good
myself
thing. They're
as
very
well.
good to me.
For many reasons. I mean, my health is decent. You know.
Yes, and that is something to be thankful about. Is your
Well,
health.
because last year was not a good
Yeah,
moment.
exactly.
And earlier this year in April, as a preventative thing, I had those stents put in a coronary artery. I had 3 of them in there rattling around.
Craziness.
And but so what? It's okay. People, oh my God, how do I feel? It feels like nothing. I watched the whole thing on the screen. Wow, cool. All right, but that was April, and I'm fine. I'm good. I mean, could I maybe peel off a few more pounds? Sure, but I'm lighter than what I was.
lost weight.
So did I.
Me too. I lost
Good
5
for
pounds.
you. Rock on.
Yeah.
Like you got 5 pounds to lose.
I couldn't close these pants I'm wearing. I couldn't close them last year. Couldn't close them around my waist.
Well, there you go.
So
Very proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And I got that. I got that going on. I mean, I got the gig over here, which, for right now, it is, again,
It's what it is.
It is what it is.
Paying the bills.
It's going fine. I'm 4.5 years into this deal. Is it perfect? No.
Really?
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? No. Is there just some ponderous? Oh my God! You
Sure there is.
kidding? Well, yeah, but that's almost everywhere. So
Pretty much.
when it's all said and done, every other Friday, I'm happy to see that my bank account is being
Replenished.
Exactly right. I've got my family. I've got my father, of course. I mean, he's 90 and everything that goes with it, but I've got him. That's what I told him. I said, Dad, bottom line is we got each other, man. We're
And
good.
you got Jamie and Jack.
And that was my very next thing. Very importantly, I've got Jamie, I've got Jack, I've got our friends out there in Pennsylvania, Kim and Chris, and they're
About Jack and Jamie.
we got our friends Chris and Kimberly out there in Pennsylvania, and their beautiful family. I mean, we hang around, we do stuff. I mean, and Jamie and I, we do. We went to Williamsport.
We do.
On last Friday, we ended up having dinner at a place that used to be like an old bric-a-brac shop. Now it's like an English little pub. It was very great. So I'm glad to be hanging around with her again. I'm glad that we're together. I'm just, I'm good. I'm good. I've got decent people around me. I'm good. Is it perfect? No, there's no perfection. But if we keep chasing after perfection, we're gonna get excellent things. That's how it works.
Do.
Yeah.
Little ditty about Jack and Jamie. I like that. I like that. I think that goes together nicely. Little
A mom and a
ditty
son.
about Jack and Jamie.
That's just the way it's gonna be.
I'm hungry.
Jack is
I
gonna
need to
be
eat.
a basketball star. Jamie sewing stuff in her sewing room. Litter bags for your car.
Oh, nice! Hey. Well, I'm glad. So we're gonna have. I'm gonna get my friend Lisa on.
Okay.
I told her. So sometime before we end for the Christmas break.
So we got 2 more shows basically.
2 more shows. Do we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my God.
Because Christmas is on a Wednesday.
That is insane, and it's gonna be 2020.
Yeah.
This is Barbara Walters.
And I'm Barbara Walters, and this
Is 2020.
Or we get Hugh Downs.
they stole your
I'm Hugh
joke, too.
Downs, and this is 2020.
I saw it, and so I said, "That's John's joke." I
That's
said, "Why are
not
you stealing
my
John's?"
joke.
Well, I don't know. You said it before I read it, so
Is that right?
yeah.
Ta-da! Go
So
me.
to me, it was your joke. 2020, weird.
Again,
I can't wait.
I remember
We
in
sh-
about 1973 or 4 on the Saturday morning cartoons, there was one that was called Sea Lab 2020.
Yeah.
Kind of like a
They were
Johnny
flying
Quest.
cars.
Yeah, kind of like a Johnny
Yeah.
Quest type of cartoon. I'm like, wow, that's a long way away, man. I'm like 8, maybe 9 years old.
2020, that's so far in the future.
We're here.
And here we are. But guess what? There ain't no flying cars. Oh, well. There's a lot of other stuff.
So it goes.
A lot of other stuff.
And now, so do we.
Yeah,
It's that time.
Yeah, I got to go eat.
All right.
I'm hungry.
Hey,
Starved myself.
let's hear from you next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tune in, turn on, check it out.
2 more shows after this.
REALTOWN with John and Tracy on your Facebook, on the Facebook, not on the Google, but on the Facebook.
Yes.
REALTOWN with John and Tracy. Check it out. If
Yes.
you didn't happen to catch it live, you can always catch it
On the
Why
Facebook.
am I saying this? Because if they're not catching it live. But if I'm going to say it anyway, if you didn't catch it live, you can catch it on the Facebook or on the YouTube. Huh?
Tube.
On the tube. With the fireworks, like the big empty tube. Oh, God, it's stingy.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Hey, somebody's out there
that
coughing or
note,
something. Yikes.
Laughing.
All right. Hey, that's all of it. Give
That's
this
all,
week your
folks.
best shot. We'll see you next time around the town in REALTOWN.
REALTOWN.
Peace. We out.
Tonight, what heights will hit?
Oh.
On with the show, this is it. Overture, curtain lights, this is it. The night of nights, no more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every card by heart. Overture, curtain lights, this is it. We'll hit the heights, and oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.